everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Shannon, and today I'm going to bring you along. I'm making a couple of soups for dinner. I love soup in just about any form I can get it. My husband and son, not so much. One of the soups my husband will eat is beef and barley with mushroom soup. So I'm making that. I'm also, my dogs. I'm also making, for me, potato, sausage, and kale soup. So I'm gonna turn you around and show you what I got going on. So this is for the beef and barley and mushroom soup. I have some stew meat that I've chopped up, a little bit of barley in here left, that should be plenty, some beef broth, some mushrooms, and I had this full of mushrooms, and I tell you, I didn't want to use that many in the soup, so I sauteed some up already in this pan, which we're going to reuse here in a minute. And I have them here, the mushrooms here in this container, and they're cooling, and I'm going to stick that in the freezer. So that way I've got some mushrooms put up for whatever I want to use them for in the future. Also for the soup, I'm going to put a little bit of carrots in there just because they were starting to look really sad, and that's all that was left in the container. I don't know, is that 3 stalks of celery chopped up? I don't know if I normally put celery in the soup, but we're going to do it today. I went ahead and pressed a whole head of garlic, and let me get a spoon, and I put it in a little bit of olive oil. That should definitely work. That's probably pretty loud. That will definitely work for tonight's soup and maybe get me through a couple of days. Let's hope. In my pan, I have my stew meat, and I'm gonna brown that up, and I'm gonna season it with a little bit of garlic, salt, and pepper. Then I'm going to add my sliced mushrooms and let those saute for a little bit with the stew meat so they can get some color on them as well. I decided it needed an onion, so I diced up an onion, and I'm adding that now. Then I'm going to add a little bit of my minced garlic, and I'm going to stir that around. And as you can see, the mushrooms are really starting to let off some of their moisture. Now I'm adding a box of beef broth, and I want this to come to a boil, and then I'm going to reduce the heat, and I'm going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to let it simmer. Because this is stew meat, I really want that stew meat to cook and get tender. Once the stew meat is really nice and tender, I will then add my carrots and celery, and I don't know how much barley was in this little jar. It wasn't a lot of barley, but I tell you, it was just the perfect amount of barley. So this has been cooking for a little while on low with the lid on. And I just turned it up. I added the carrots and the celery and the barley. I'm going to mix that in. It looks delicious. It smells delicious. So I'm going to turn that up to a simmer. Look, it's already starting to simmer. And then I'm going to let that cook for 30 to 45 minutes. And this soup, mushroom, beef, and barley soup, is done. This is the second soup I'm making tonight, and I'm making it just for myself because nobody else is going to eat it. This is 2 russet potatoes diced. I have about a cup of cooked spicy sausage, about a little cup and a quarter of frozen chopped kale. I have some chicken broth in a box. I have a little bit of chopped onion, and then I've got my garlic. I'm gonna put this all together and cook it up, and it's gonna be yummy. Oh, and some heavy cream. So in here I have the chicken broth, a little bit of onions that I sauteed, the potatoes, and then I put a little chicken bouillon in it because that chicken broth needed to be just fortified a little bit. Fortified, is that the right word? I don't know, sounds good. Salt and pepper. and it's cooking. I'm fixing to add the sausage and the kale, and then we'll look at it again in a minute. This I put a lid on and turned it way, way down because since I put the carrots, the celery, and the barley in there, you can see that it really has soaked up the liquid. So I'm just going to put that on low. We're not quite ready for it yet, or to eat dinner yet, so I'm just going to stick a lid on it. It's on real low just to keep it warm. I'll bring you back when I add more stuff to this soup. Potatoes are basically done, and I added the sausage and the kale. And I'm going to let that kind of hang out together and simmer before I add the heavy cream. And then it'll be time to serve. Everything has been in here and it's been just hanging out. And I'm fixing to add the cream. I don't think I'm going to add too much cream. And let that get hot. I won't boil it, I'll just let it get hot. That's about what I'm looking for. So this soup, potato, sausage, and kale soup, this soup is done. And it looks super yummy. This soup is all done as well, the beef and barley and mushroom soup, and it looks really good too. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. Bye.